Something has changed in Jumptown, and that can mean big changes on how we play Star Citizen in the near future. The Jumptown event is already underway, but a few days ago, CIG introduced what is perceived to be a stealth nerf to Jumptown. Time between packages were longer, and payouts were different. Players suspected it was a bug in typical Star Citizen fashion, but CIG confirmed that this change was intentional. Per this statement right here, there are some things that stood out in this statement. Quote, in future events, likely in the 3.18 cycle, we'll also look to test fluctuating value per commodity, end quote. Interesting that they gave a projected time of this change, given that they publicly said they don't want to do that anymore. Besides Jumptown, the only other events in Star Citizen currently are Xenothreat and Ninetales Lockdown. I could see in Xenothreat how the amount of each volatile material required will change along with the payouts for each material when you deliver them. Same goes for Ninetales Lockdown and the medical supplies. But that's not the most important part. Quote, this is all an intended and important step as we look to test the variable payout functionality, which will eventually be determined dynamically based on player behavior, end quote. Right now, Jumptown is a test. No doubt they'll be monitoring player behavior as payouts change and or supplies change, and it's believed that these variations are different on each server. Now I'm going to go into speculation mode here, because even though it's not explicitly said in this forum post, I have no doubt this will apply for all commodities eventually. Right now, the economy of Star Citizen is stagnant. Prices haven't changed or changed very little, and players have no influence on these prices. Obviously, that will change in the future. I do a lot of mining in Star Citizen, and right now Quantanium is the most valuable mineral to mine, and Bexlite being the second most valuable. There's almost no reason to mine any other minerals if you have a Lancet mining head, and if you don't, why waste cargo space on these less valuable minerals? The most common implementation of player economies in MMO games are trading posts, where the players set prices on the things they sell and players buy it. But the prices are not only driven by supply and demand, but also one thing Star Citizen doesn't have: rarity. Just look at Counter-Strike and Pokemon cards. But I won't dive into that because it might not even happen and it'll all be wishful thinking anyways. Another way this could go is something like EVE Online. The way EVE Online works is that everything is player driven. Not just buying and selling, but also logistics, and even social security and insurance. Basically every transaction happens between players. No NPCs involved. I'm not saying that Star Citizen should be like EVE Online. It would not be possible anyways, but something like a light version of that. Imagine an event where there's lots of ship-to-ship combat and a lot of destroyed ships. Surge and ship claims could create huge demand not just for Quantanium, but for other materials required for these ships. Or what if an orc decides to destroy their ships or mass claim their ships in one area, creating huge demand for materials and jacking up prices? It would basically be manipulating the commodities market and might encourage hoarding of commodities. Since we already have commodity price alert notifications in-game, which currently is not that useful, there might actually be a purpose for this feature, and you'll have massive activity for whatever material is in demand in that region. This would also make websites like UX Corp and SCA Trade Tools a lot less helpful, at least in its current iteration. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, I'm speculating a lot about this, and we probably will not see these bigger changes for years, but the system is going to change eventually. If you enjoyed or found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe and ring the bell, and check out more Star Citizen stuff here.